Hey y'all, hope y'all are doing good. This is just a 12 house reading. I guess to end off Cancer season, going into Leo season. Because Cancer season for a lot of us has been pretty depressing to say the least. Obviously not for everybody, but I've definitely been, talking to a lot of people who have just been feeling like they are so closed off and they're losing friendships, they're losing money, they're gaining weight, or they just feel like they're tuned into the wrong frequency of the universe. And so I really just wanted to do this 12 house to give everyone some encouragement going into Leo season. The cards look pretty good, pretty indicative of what like a lot of people have been telling me about. So I guess we'll just get started. If you know me, then you know when I do these 12 house readings, it's not for any of the signs. This is just a collective reading for everybody. And we talk about what's going on in the energy of each house in astrology. So I'll explain what each house means and also, what the cards are saying. Okay, so the first house, this has to do with us as an individual, right? Like things that we're going through on a personal level. So the Wheel of Fortune is here and it's giving me, it's time to recharge, right? It's time to just start anew, turn over a brand new leaf, and whatever you was doing, wallowing in self-pity or self-defeatist attitudes, bring that to an end. It's really time to kind of just let all that go, right? Do a little bit of energetic releasing, cry if you have to, do some spiritual baths if you have to, but it really is time to just start moving to a brand new tune. The second house has a lot to do with our money, right? Our self-worth, what we feel like we're worth. Maybe the people who we're attracting, what we think they're worth. Maybe they're not in alignment with who we say we are. And also like financial goals. A lot of how we accrue money has a lot to do with how we feel about ourselves or feel about our work. So the Ten of Wands is definitely a card that is kind of in opposition, right, to what came up in the first house with the Wheel of Fortune, because the Ten of Wands implies a lot of work, a lot of resistance, an uphill climb. You're just grinding, right, hustling, like working really hard, and you're not in a state of flow. And you could see how drained and maybe like emaciated or just spiritually emaciated, right? Like you're just worn out. You could see how this could make you feel. So I kind of feel like this is just where people are at right now in their second house. Third house, though, this is where your thoughts are at. This is where your plans for the near future are at. And the third house looks really good, right? It's really hopeful with the Empress being here. She's geared up and she has on a beautiful passionate red dress, which shows that she's just ready to tackle anything and everything. Like she's just ready to put a whole lot of energy, right? But this is like really different, right, from what was going on in the second house, because this is grinding hard, but this is like just being in a state of flow. And also, more importantly, like you're not just working for the sake of working, you're working on openness and receptivity to money that wants to come to you, new people who want to come to you, new thoughts that want to come to you. If you've been feeling a lot of mental blockages, for work that you're trying to create, or even for new, energy that you're trying to let into your life, be it new people, whatever. Like the Empress is saying that you're open now. You're ready to receive. So just, claim this energy, because this is the mental space that's going to allow new doors to be open. Fourth house has to do with our roots, right? What we feel grounded in and where we feel safe. Where's our safe haven, right? So we got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So this is not that good because it's an energy that shows that we're rejecting new opportunities, right? So this could be as simple as staying in your shell, staying home, overeating, ignoring calls, ignoring texts, not engaging with anyone, right? You watching the same stuff on TV over and over. You ain't even trying to watch no new episodes or new series of anything. You just stuck in a rut, and you just doing the same thing every day, wondering why you're not letting nothing new come into your life. So the Ace of Pentacles being reversed is definitely a current state for a lot of people, but we definitely have some cards here that shows like how to get out of this state. That's it. Fifth house is looking really good, right? So the fifth house, this is all about that passionate energy, that drive, that ambition, right? Your desire to pursue hobbies, pursue things that make you feel enthusiastic, right? This is really all about a pursuit. It could be a chase, but I don't want you to feel like you chasing nothing, because like I said, in the second house, like you don't want to feel like you're working for the sake of working, right? When you chasing something, like how often is it that you catch up to it, right? But the Ace of Swords here is saying yes. Like, it's saying like you about to have a very glorious moment, right? A strong victory. You about to push through, and like all that happiness and motivation that was lost is coming back. This is also a good sign for people who are looking for, new romantic interest. It's not necessarily saying like, oh, you about to buckle down and get married and nothing like that, but it's saying that at least you're it's resonating with the third house, right? You're mentally receptive to new thoughts, new ideas, new conversations, new topics being discussed, or same old topics, but maybe you just approaching these topics from a different way, right? Sixth house has a lot to do with the routines that you've been into, and the Chariot being reversed is telling you to stop, right? So it really makes sense, because in the fourth house, like I said, like this is you doing the same old. You're not doing nothing new, but this is telling you that this stuck in the rut thing that you're doing, kill that, okay? You should always be open to challenging yourself, unless the challenge right now is discipline, unless, you're very sporadic and hyperactive, and right now you're just trying to like get yourself into a routine, then okay, fine. But for the people who just been in their shell, avoiding people, the Chariot reverse is saying like, stop doing that. Like, put yourself out there, put some fire under your butt, right? Take your health more seriously. Stop pushing it off. Stop procrastinating. That's what's going on in the collective sixth house. Seventh house looks so good, right? Because it's talking about gains. It's talking about wins. The seventh house, this is all about your long-term partnerships and commitments. I kind of feel like people are welcoming in a lot of new money just flooding in, right? From all these new endeavors that you're on, that you're finally taking seriously. So like I said, right, in the sixth house, you're removing all these blockages, but in the seventh house, you're making a lot of room for a lot of abundance, right? A lot of manifestation. So this could come in any form, but I want to just focus on you as an individual, right? Because you're the longest partnership you will ever have is to yourself. So a lot of people with this Ten of Pentacles energy, they're feeling very worthy of attention from themselves, right? They're abandoning self-neglect. The eighth house, this is about the spiritual transformations that we're going through. And as you can see, a lot of people are really struggling to climb out of this mental prison that they got themselves in. So, other cards in the readings explain why. But I kind of feel like with this Eight of Swords energy here, it's like you really gotta do what you can to get yourself in a healthy place mentally where you can function, right? Because some of us are overthinking ourselves into inactivity. We're not doing nothing because we just sitting here thinking all day. What if this? What if that? How come this? How come that? How could I have this? How could I have that? None of that matters no more, because the past is the past, and it's done, right? What's coming for the future? Or are you so consumed with how the future is going to play out that you trying to be overly prepared for everything, but you're still overthinking yourself to inaction, right? So this is the spiritual transformation, is getting yourself out of this place where you're just stuck in your head and you're stuck in your thoughts, and you're vulnerable and you're scared, right? Look at her, she's naked, she's all contorted and everything like that, but you don't know how, like, when you don't know what's the first step to take to get out of there. So this is a major spiritual transformation for a lot of people. Ninth house looks so good though, because even though the eighth house is kind of scary, the ninth house is saying like, this is where you're going. This is the big picture ahead, right? And a lot of people, they don't even care where they go. They don't care where they end up. They just want to feel inspired and motivated. So yeah, so a lot of people, it doesn't really matter where they end up, right? A lot of people are really just trying to enjoy the journey. They want to feel like they're enjoying the process of going wherever they're trying to go. So with the Ace of Wands, this comes right after the eighth house, right? The eighth house was so terrifying. It's saying you're boxed in, you're caged in. What is it that's gonna spark this interest to just step out and step into a brand new energy, right? You have to feel like there's something supple on the other side. There's something abundant. There's something radiant. But you also just got to feel like it's worth it. You're worth it. You deserve better. You deserve more. And you may not have all the energy today, but little by little, the more you invest into trying to create that energy, the more is going to happen. 10th house being the house of, your biggest achievements and accolades, showing the Five of Swords. It could be potentially dangerous territory. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Like, a lot of people have these career aspirations or work aspirations. And it seems like a lot of people are in cutthroat or highly competitive environments, and they're not sure what to do to set themselves apart as unique, right? And so, okay, I don't have anything that makes me feel special or warm or alluring, but I could be the loudest, I could be the meanest, I could be the most abrasive, I could be the most power hungry, right? I could be the most cutthroat. And they feel like this is what they have to do to be seen as a person. But I think this card is a strong warning to not do that. You don't want to be in these work environments where you're just overly hostile just to get to the top, right? Look at the girl. She's showing her ass. She got this bright orange hair. Like, she loves to be seen. She loves the attention. She loves the accolades, right? But she's alone, right? What does it come with? So you don't want to be lonely at the top and cold because there's nobody to share the warmth of the celebrations with. All right, so 11th house is major because this is about tuning into your frequencies so you could be in alignment to get advice, counseling from the right source. Okay, this is also about your friendships, your social circle. So the 11th house is talking about how you could tap into what's around you, so you could feel connected and genuinely connected and part of something bigger than yourself. So the high priestess is here, and the message she's given is surround yourself with the sages, right? The sage, the wise one, the one who always preaching. They always got something so far beyond their years, right, to say. They always have a lesson or something to enlighten you with. They always dropping gems on you. Surround yourself with those types of people because they are gonna give you the keys to help you enrich your social life. And then the last card for this 12th house reading, being in the 12th house, the house of, we can, talk about submission, or the house where we kind of just let everything loose. We got the Knight of Chalices. So it looks like this is the only Cups card here in this whole entire reading, which is crazy. I feel like a lot of people are turning away from seeking out romance or love or a need to feel love. Like, they're removing this desire for romance from their core list of needs, but they're still seeking out something mystical or something enchanting about life in itself, but not necessarily about a lover. Also, I feel like people are not necessarily trying to romance themselves. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, take yourself on a date and buy yourself flowers. Like, People ain't really trying to do that either. But I think a lot of people, right, with the 12th house being where we let everything loose, they just want to feel relaxed in their own head, in their own space. And they want to do something to release tension from areas that give them like a lot of unhappiness, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of mystery, a lot of disappointment. So I feel like the Knight of Chalices is saying like, hold on to this cup, right? This cup of love, right? You have something very dear. You have something very tender. You have something that is highly desirable. But like, don't forget, there's a whole horse here, right? And it's so regal, the energy is so like, I'm here to stay. But just because it's like that, it doesn't mean that you have to set a target and throw this cup on anything or anyone. And you don't even have to drink it for yourself. You can certainly hold on to this tenderness, right? This loving kindness, and just go on a journey, right? Nobody say you have to be cold-hearted, and nobody say you have to share your heart with nobody. You could keep your tender little heart for yourself while you go on a journey, a little mystical, spiritual enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, and figure out what you want to do with this cup and when you want to do something with it. So we got the shadow card on the deck, and we got the Four of Wands here. So the Four of Wands is all about harmony, family, nurturing, loving, reunion, reconciliation, all that good, warm, happy stuff. So I kind of feel like a lot of people really was feeling disconnected the whole Cancer season, and they're hoping for Leo season to be full of warm embraces. Whether you're able to connect with friends, family, lovers, whatever, you want to just feel warm all the time. Like you want to always feel like you have your best interests at heart, and nobody's cunning words or charming words can take you away from that very centered, warm feeling. So that's everything for the 12th house. I hope y'all appreciated this. I hope that y'all got the enlightenment that y'all need to get y'all through the next month. If you want to book a one-on-one with me, that's fine. Just visit the link in my bio and hit the schedule a reading button. And I'll be more than happy to do a 12th house for you one-on-one or any other type of reading that interests you, all right? Bye, y'all.